and show you something that I had been leveling off stream, and that is Frenzy Barbarian in offline mode. See, the issue, well, this is gonna go to the YouTube, so for that I would want to say hi to all of you who's gonna watch it on YouTube. Don't forget, after watching this video, that you would definitely need to like, comment upon that's the topic that I would express right now and show to you right now, as well as subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed already. So, the topic of this video would be the attack rating stuff. When it comes to melee characters. Now, in regards to this class already, I have his attack rating sitting at 95%, and it does not increase no matter how many points you are going to put to your combat skills, and that is something that any kind of mastery or any kind of stuff that will give you more attack rating. And you might want to say, well, that's not that big of a deal, 95%, that's alright. It's not, and let me show to you why this is the case, why I think this mechanic is outdated in regards to Diablo 2, because in other hack and slash RPGs it was already fixed by allowing you a way easier time to get 100% hit rate on a melee class. So let's take a look at something as mundane as running through Act 1, for instance, right, like Black Marsh and something like this. Note that I have selected the option to display every kind of miss that I will have with this character. It will be displayed as X mark. So I am way over level in regards to being in this area. Yet, sometimes, yes, that's already one miss. Sometimes these misses are still going to happen. Sure, let's go to the hole, or through the hole, to perhaps see. And this is against white monsters. This works or happens not only against elites. Actually, no, I should have gone to the tower. The issue with that is, like, let's say if you're planning to play something like a Frenzy Barb or a Zeal Paladin, and you are hitting enemies with multiple attacks, if your attack misses, you won't be able to proc lifesteal, you won't be able to survive, you won't be able to rely on crushing blow or deadly wounds or open wounds, how is it called, and it's annoying on the melee classes, especially if you take into account instances where your monsters, or monsters in general, yeah, something like this, where he swings, he whiffs, yet he stocks in, see, double miss again. I'm freaking level 50. And I'm still missing against monsters in this particular place on normal difficulty. Currently I'm sitting on farming on nightmare difficulty, but that's not the point. The point that I'm trying to show to you is that attack rating dilemma or problem that you would have to overcome, or not necessarily overcome, that have to deal with on melee classes, it sucks. It honestly sucks, and it should not be the case. Like, there should have been some kind of mod that easily fixes that by allowing melee class, not in an instant, but allowing melee class to have a constant 100% hit rate. Because, once again, just like I have told you before, if anybody of you wonders, will it turn melee classes into an instant, like, overpowered machines, as some people would like you to believe? No, of course not. Why? Because I already talked about it. Even if you equip all kinds of best in slot gear in the world on your melee character, and you compare it to a spellcaster with best in slot gear, you would not be as quick and as powerful in regards to the damage, in regards to the clear speed. Yeah, your defense might be higher, but you're not killing monsters with your defense. You're just withstanding blows and missing, and still missing against those stupid imps that are on normal difficulty, remind you. I'm way over leveled than them. I don't have anything against, because I talked about it on the previous streams. I don't have anything against having chance to hit in general. If your game has at the end a mechanic that will allow you to mitigate this chance, or not mitigate, but it will allow you to actually at the end get 100% hit rate, with the help of your items, with the help of any other things. But Diablo 2 sadly don't have anything like this, and melee always will have a disadvantage. They always will have a disadvantage, despite the fact that they already at a disadvantage, because when you are going to the enemy, you are start taking hits all like from casters and from ranged guys, period, and you cannot cover as much of a radius, you are not as fast, and to top it all up, you also misses. Yeah, like I know that melee classes are the ones that are like just to address the thing. I'm talking about the leveling, not only the... I'm talking about leveling process as a whole, but I also touched upon the end game stuff that you can... that you will be overcoming as a melee classes too. However, some of you might say or add to this, but what about Uber classes? I mean, melee classes are the ones that... the only type of classes that will efficiently farm Uber bosses. Yes, that's true, but first of all, they are farming this not necessarily because they are melee classes. It's because the combination of the mechanics that will allow to negate constant healing from those super bosses, like open wounds and huge crushing blow parameters, something that you won't have on the caster. No matter how fast you hit uber bosses, they would keep healing themselves and your damage will be negated, in comparison to melee class, which in a lot of cases uses something that would prevent monsters to heal, or in general he just procs bleeding, and bleeding, like, it's damage over time, and it prevents monsters from healing, uber bosses from healing by default, and general monsters. So what's my point? My point here is that even when melee are farming it, outside of Smiter Paladin, every other melee like that you have that could farm uber bosses, like Frenzy Barbarian, for instance, or Shapeshifter Druid, they are missing so often. Like, the only time that they are efficiently, quote-unquote, farming them is when they're hitting. But you could have such a bad time against them when despite the fact that you will see like 90% hit, or a slightly lower than 90% chance to hit, or maybe slight at the same margin, you would miss so many times against them, to the point that they could kill you. No matter what kind of gear you have, you'll be keep missing and they will kill you, because, like I've told you, your survivability depends on chance to hit. And from my point of view, yes, you could agree or disagree with it, but at the end game on a melee class, I think you should have the ability to obtain, to accumulate, to acquire 100% chance to hit. That's just something that you already have in other games, like Grim Dawn, for instance, that has pretty similar stuff to it, or Last Epoch also has pretty similar stuff on melee. There is no like guaranteed hits when it comes to playing melee classes in those games, yet by the time you reach end game you don't have any kind of problem with actually attacking something and surviving because of the lifesteal mechanics. So yeah, like, once again, this is not a discussion about like, oh, like having 100% melee classes, chance to hit on melee classes would break the game. No, it would not. And also, if you think that way, you might also think that, well, this mechanic was alright, like, they shouldn't change it in the modern games. If it was alright, then every modern action RPG in the similar fashion would keep it. Did Path of Exile keep it? No. Did Last Epoch keep it? No. Did Grim Dawn keep it? No. Diablo 3 keep it? No. Any other game in the same genre, like Torchlight, Sacred, Titan Quest, did it had the same problem as Diablo 2 with hit chance? No. So if those mechanics were not taken and were not kept intact, that means they had a problem, and that means, to put it simply, they were outdated. And yeah, that was my whole point. Once again, I demonstrated this thing to you already, like, by having a level 50 barbarian going through normal difficulty and still missing my hits despite the fact that I'm sitting at 95% chance to hit, which is already a problem in the grand scheme of things, considering that I'm playing a melee character, from my point of view. So yeah, guys, this is going to be it when it comes to this video. Again, I shared my points. Feel free to comment in the comment section your point about chance to hit mechanic on the melee classes. Do you think not having the option to accumulate it up or to have it at 100% it's bad or is good? Like, what's the positive stuff about it, like what's negative stuff about it, and what you think about it in general in this game or in comparison to other games. From my point of view, this is going to be the end of today's video, and I will be seeing you all next time on the next video. So bye guys, and have a great time of the day.